houses on Medicaid.
Let's read the text. The big beautiful bill is a trap. They want the poor to perish without Medicaid. They want the poor to perish. Let's jump in.
Medicaid. My husband, me, our baby daughter.
Everybody.
Okay, we're all on Medicaid. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to have the birth control in my arm that I have.
Yep.
Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to have the antidepressants that I have at no
Jesus.
cost to me. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to go to therapy
My
to continue to be the mom I am
word.
to the 3 kids and 2 separate houses that I have to do.
Wow.
Without Medicaid, my daughter wouldn't be able to go and get her vaccines and go and get all of the things that she needs as an 18-month-old baby. Without Medicaid, my husband wouldn't be able to go and get the medications that he needs and the treatment that he needs for his disability. Without Medicaid, not a single person in my house would have health care.
Oh my
We are low
God.
income. Our only income is my husband's SSI.
What?
We're on food stamps. We use food pantries. Okay? Without Medicaid, we would never be healthy. And
Why?
for us, it's not even like
Why? Why? Why would you never be healthy without Medicaid? Why aren't you taking your health into your own hands? Why aren't you taking your life into your own hands?
I don't even know what to say to you right now.
Sure, empathy. Yeah, got it. Good. But it seems like American taxpayers are paying for dysfunction. It seems like American taxpayers are paying for people who neglected to take their life into their own hands. Now, someone else's negligence is American taxpayers' emergency. Other people's negligence is American taxpayers' responsibility. That's what it seems like. She's on Medicaid. Her children. She's got Medicaid for antidepressants. She's got Medicaid for therapy, for birth control, for... There is no aspect of her life that she took into her own hands. She made her life the government's responsibility.
These are facts.
She's not trying to go to the gym. She's not trying to eat better. She's not trying. She's not trying. And she didn't try. And she's not only not trying for herself, she's not trying for her kids. Her husband's disabled. This is just dysfunction. It's just dysfunction, man. Nobody trying. I'm telling you, man, when UBI gets here, people are going to be lined up with their hand out. You think people are not going to be lined up for this UBI? Like it's Black Friday? Unbelievable. Let's let the clip finish.
body. It's all mental. For my husband, for me, and then we have a baby who needs Medicaid for vaccines, who needs Medicaid for... I already have 2 children who are diagnosed with autism. So what if she ends up getting diagnosed with autism? We need Medicaid.
What are you going to do about it? I'm going to have a kid. What is the government going to do to help me? What? What? What are we doing, man? No accountability, just entitlement. People just looking for handouts. People who make a mess of their life, neglect their life, and make it your responsibility to give them a handout. And if you don't, you're a bad person. You're immoral. You're selfish. You're greedy. They hate capitalism. They hate America. It's truly unbelievable.
We need Medicaid. And if you live in America, everybody deserves free healthcare. That's it.
Everybody deserves free. Everybody deserves free. Especially the people who aren't responsible for their own lives. Those are the ones who definitely deserve free. The people who don't take responsibility for their own mental health, their own physical health, their own emotional health, those are the people who definitely deserve free. They deserve to be at the top of the list to receive free. You can't make this up.
I mean, you just can't make this up.
I used to be homeless.
Okay.
I used to sleep in alleys. In the wintertime, I was sleeping on church stairs. I shoplifted from stores so that I could have something to eat that day.
Probably shouldn't
I was
admit that.
declined day after day from shelters on a waiting list because I didn't have a child, so I wasn't priority.
Okay.
I didn't have warm clothes, and living in New Jersey, it was so cold. It was snowing outside, and I was literally wrapped in a blanket, sleeping in the snow.
Yeah.
Many nights I thought I wasn't gonna wake up the next morning, but I still got up the next day, and I hustled, and
Yeah.
I went to the library.
Yeah.
I picked up change off the ground so that I could be able to print out resumes and make me a resume. I went to the welfare office when I got my food stamps. They used to have a program where they
Okay.
would help you find a job. So
Okay.
that way you don't have to stay on government assistance.
Come on.
I don't know what's required of it now because I haven't had food stamps in many years.
Yeah.
But at the time, that's what the requirement was. You had to try to get a job.
Yeah.
I took advantage of every resource.
As you should. As you should. There should be requirements for you to receive free assistance. If you're not going to pay money to receive the assistance, the least you can do is show the people, show the system that you're trying. This is a young woman who's trying. These are the people that taxpayers don't mind giving their money to. People who are going to try. People who are going to receive the assistance and do something with it. People who hit an unfortunate circumstance in life who need the assistance, who will then use the assistance to get off the system and then become a contributor to the system that once aided them when they need it. Cyclical. American taxpayers don't have a problem with these people. American taxpayers do not have a problem with people like this. It's the others. Let's let her finish.
That I could find. I sat down with the welfare caseworker and I begged her to help me find anything that could help me get out of my situation. She sent me to work centers that would help with building my resume, and they would sit down and help me with interview skills. And every day I went to an interview. I spent my days sitting at the library and going to interviews.
Yeah.
I started off with a few jobs,
Sure.
worked my way up in those jobs,
Yeah.
built my resume,
Yeah.
and then started getting better jobs for myself.
Yeah.
The point of me telling you all of this is because I'm so sick of people getting on the internet and talking about how desperately they need Medicaid and food stamps while they are able-bodied adults who can get the up and get it for themselves.
Who are able-bodied and they can get up and get it for themselves. She wasn't laying around with men having kids that she couldn't take care of. She wasn't making babies. She was in the library, building her resume, printing out resumes, going to career centers, job fairs, trying to get better jobs, working a job. She humbled herself, working crappy jobs and working her way up in those crappy jobs. The system aided her. It helped her. She used the help. She leveled up. And now she's making this video from her own car. Let's continue.
I was getting $7 an hour working at Payless, and I saved up every dollar so that I could afford me a down payment on an apartment in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And I was 19, 20 years old at the time. Yeah, going through it. I struggled so hard every day that I was able to say this. I looked at myself and I said, when I get out of this situation, I will never go back.
That's right.
I'm just so sick of the excuses. Grown people getting
Facts.
on this app to talk and show how lazy they are and how greedy they are and how entitled they are.
Come on.
That you feel every other American who is working really hard to pay taxes and make a living for themselves should be funding your free life.
Come on.
No way. I never wanted a handout from anybody. I worked so hard to get where I am. I worked so hard to never be homeless again.
That's
I
right.
remember at 20 years old, I walked into the mayor's office in New Jersey and I said, hey, I can't get into a shelter. Please help me. And the lady, the secretary, sat down with me and wrote me a letter to get me into an apartment because nobody would accept me. They had a program in New Jersey where you could get a one-time payment for like, I think it was like $1,300 to get a down payment for an apartment, and I kept getting denied. I went everywhere, and I went back to that place almost every other week to keep begging them to give me this deposit. Now, I saved up majority of my deposit, and they basically just matched me. But that lady got me that deposit because I was so persistent.
First of all, the amount of programs out here that exist to help people is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Shout out to the American taxpayers. The amount of programs and systems that exist to help people is unbelievable. Now you see why everybody's fighting to get over here. Now you see why everybody's fighting to get over here. American taxpayers are handling business. Life happens to us all. Life happens to everybody. We all need help at some point. It's not the help that people are frustrated with. It's the abuse. It's the entitlement. It's the laziness. And then it's the arrogance to assume that people should pay for your negligence. This woman took her life into her own hands. She made good decisions. She wasn't out here fornicating and having children. She was trying to get her life together. She was persistent, and she showed that she wanted help. She showed that she wasn't a bad investment. She showed that she wasn't an unworthy investment. And she showed that, look, I'm trying to help me. I'm trying to help me. And if you are willing to show some grace and give me a little bit of help, I know I can get out of this situation. But most people aren't willing to help themselves. They want to get on the system and sit and be lazy and tell you that it's your responsibility to give them your money that you work for, that you sacrifice time off of your life for. Shout out to this young lady for making it happen in her life. And shout out to her for giving some hope and easing some of the frustration of the American taxpayers. That is it for me today. I'll catch y'all in the next video.